Hello, welcome back to the whole journey. And today we're going to talk about, um, and I'm looking at my laptop because I'm having a senior moment and I had a long night. And I don't want to forget anything, so I made some really good points. So I'm going to be referring back to that. But welcome back to the whole journey. Today we're going to be talking about those seasons when life feels uncertain, unpredictable, and even scary. And if you're one of those people that are feeling that, you're not alone. I think that's the climate that we're in, of uncertainty. Things around us look unpredictable. You're wondering, when the other shoe is going to drop, what's going to happen next. Some people have just retreated from watching the news because they don't want to, just be inundated with constant bad news. Like, they just, don't want to hear it. And I don't fault them from, disconnecting and unplugging, because you have to do that sometimes just to reset yourself. Because if you're constantly hearing negativity day in, day out, day in, day out, you fall into this cycle. Like, there's no hope. What are we doing here? Why even continue? And so I think that's the mood that a lot of people are in. A lot of people are suffering silently in depression. They're functional depressives, as I like to call them. They're functioning, they're going to work, they're coming home, taking care of their families, helping with homework and all of that. But inwardly, deep down, they're depressed because they see or feel that there's no hope. And so today, I want to talk about things that you can do to cope and to get through this season. I'm a firm believer that, we all have different things that we're dealing with, some longer than others, and we're going through, as I like to say, we're going through it, meaning this season that you're in is not going to be your season forever. So how can you get through this time that you find yourself in right now? So the first is awareness. And that was kind of what I started off with talking about. You're looking around, you're seeing what's happening, you see people struggling. The mood is different, people are different. You don't seem to be able to really connect with people like you once did. Conversations may feel shallow and very surface. And even relationships that you may have had, and I'm talking about maybe, male-female relationships, girlfriends that you may have had, if you're a guy friends that you've used to hang out with. Everybody has kind of like retreated, and you're noticing that. So that's the first step, to notice and be aware of your surroundings and see it for what it is. So once you are aware, then what are you gonna do? What's the next natural step? We try to control it. We can't control other people. We just can't. We can only control how we respond to them, how we respond to people being surface or not connecting like they once did, and maybe retreating because they're dealing with their own issues. So you have to control you. So what are you going to do? Um, find different outlets. And I mentioned this in the other video that I did, I said that this is a time to really lean into God, spending more time with taking care of yourself, self-care. A lot of times we forget us. We pour into others all day. We pour into our jobs. We pour into our kids. We pour into our spouses or our significant others. We pour into, any civic organizations that you may be a part of. If you attend a local church, so you're constantly pouring, but you're not putting anything back. You're not replenishing yourself. And so how can you continue to give from an empty vessel? You have to replenish yourself. So that's, getting proper rest. And these are basic things that you're like, yeah, I know. But you have to make time to do that, because if you're not, you're going to notice that you're going to be not your best self, not the best version of yourself. Take time, even when you're working, to unplug from work. I know work is busy and you have demands, and I used to do it myself. I would be at work, I'm like, I don't have time to eat, and if I did eat something, I'm scoffing it down while I'm still, trying to respond to an email with the phone to my head and put the phone on mute so they don't hear me chewing. No, unplug from that. Step away. You have a lunch period, whether it's 30 minutes, an hour, whatever that time is, walk away. Go sit in your car if you are working in an office or, a brick and mortar. If you're at home, unplug. Go to another room and take your time and eat and, just have that moment. That's what it's designed for. And if you're not doing that, you're going to notice you're going to be more irritable. You're even going to have indigestion because you're like trying to wolf down food. Just take that time for yourself. Also focus on, whatever you like to do. If you're a reader, take time out the week to read a good book, a self-help book, the Bible, whatever reading materials you enjoy, find time to do that. Me personally, I love self-care. So I love going, a couple of times a month to go get a massage. I love to get facials. I love getting my nails done and pedicures. I like taking long walks in nature. And I love water. So anything that's by, a body of water, a lake, a pond, an ocean, that like revitalizes me, that like just does something, and I'm just so inspired. And so whatever that thing is for you, you need to incorporate that and not just do it as a treat, do it as a part of your everyday regimen. And you may say, well, I don't have money to, go spend. Well, you can find things that are not, that requires money, and, still have that time to be able to replenish and rejuvenate yourself and pour back into yourself. And that's ultimately what this is about, just sharpening the saw, pouring back into yourself, and taking care of you. You only have one you. And if you're not taking care of yourself, who's gonna do it? So I would encourage you to incorporate that as a regular routine for yourself. Also, another point I would say, just be still. We have so much background noise around us where we're doing the social media. I'm getting a little warm. I need to turn on my air con. I'm sorry. Looking for my remote. Where we're plugged into social media and we hear all this chatter. You know, if you're in your car, you got music on or some podcast playing. You're just constantly inundated with noise. How many of you have just sat in your car and maybe went to the grocery store or had to run some errands, maybe to a doctor's appointment, and you just did it in complete silence? Most people can't do that. They have to have some kind of noise going. I would challenge you to try that. Just wherever you are, you might not be, you know, in a vehicle, you might be at home. Just turn everything off and see how long you can just sit with yourself in complete silence and just let your thoughts go. Don't just sit and ruminate on any particular thing. Just sit in silence and see if you could do that for like 15 minutes, just quiet. I think after, you'll notice that you're more in touch with your thoughts. You can hear because you're not distracted by all of that external noise. So I challenge you this week to just sit for 15 minutes and then make it part of your regular routine. I do it quite often. I don't have anything on. No TV, no music, just quiet. And I notice that I have more control over my thinking and my thought process when I do that. The last one, and I feel like, no, this isn't the last one, this is the fourth one, then I have one more. The fourth one is celebrating every day a win, whatever that is. Celebrate it. If you had been trying to, get in contact with a business contact and you've been playing phone tag and you finally did it, that's a win. If you had been putting off going to the dentist and you finally make that appointment and have it scheduled, that's a win. If you have been going to a grocery store and you're like, oh, I want to try this particular food or fruit or whatever, and you've been like, I'll do it one day, and then you finally do it and you're like, oh, I finally tried this food or fruit, or finally tried this restaurant, or I finally went to this park that I've been saying that I want to walk around, and you finally do it. Celebrate those wins. Those are small successes that you need to be grateful for, and celebrate those. And so during the week, if every day you have something that you're grateful for and you're celebrating, it really changes your mood because you feel like you're accomplishing something. You're just not, get up, get dressed, shower, get dressed, go to work, do work for 8 hours, come home, cook dinner, wash and repeat. You can look back and say, oh wow, today I actually accomplished something. And these are the things that I was able to accomplish. I'm telling you, man, it makes a difference because it feels like you've actually have accomplished something, and you feel like you didn't just play a chapter out of the Groundhog Day. Like, you can't tell one day from the other. You'll notice that things have been accomplished and I'm making some forward movement. So do that, try that. I think it'll make you feel different about everything else that's happening outside of your control, because you're controlling your little sphere. Can't control all this out here, but you can control what's happening in your sphere. And doing that makes you feel like you have a better handle on what's happening to you and with you. The final thing, which I think is very important, is having a connection with someone. I started off talking about how you just feel disconnected and having shallow and superficial conversations with people, and people have retreated. But there are some people that get it, that you can connect with. And it might not be a boatload of people, it might be one person that you can connect with, that's a safe place, that are like-minded like you, that you can share with, and support each other. That's so important, to have a support person or support system, building your own little internal community. That's so important, and I would encourage you to do that as well. And some of you have that already. Some of you may have to seek that out. And if you're in the phase of trying to seek that out, that's something that requires a little bit of time. You know, you have to vet the person, you know, maybe start off small, sharing something, and see how they're able to handle that. Are they there for you? Are you there for them? Because it has to be a reciprocal. You can't just expect them to be there for you and you're not there for them. So finding that right person may take a little time, but I think it's something that's completely doable, and it's something that's really needed. So yeah, that's important. Having those right connections, a safe place or a mentor that you can go to and just pour out. Now, of course, God is the ultimate person that will hold all your secrets, the ultimate mentor, but we also need that, you know, actual physical person that we can go talk to, and that they're there and they support us during our highs and our lows. So even when, you know, things are not going well, you know, they're there for that, but they're also there when you're, you know, on the mountaintop and you're like accomplishing your goals and you're hitting those benchmarks, and they're there to like cheer you on. I knew you could do it, you know, not jealous or envious, but genuinely happy for you. So those are the topics that I had today. I hope that something I said encouraged you or motivated you to continue on, to focus, and to not feel overwhelmed, to get you connected, celebrating those wins, the self-care, the stillness, sitting with yourself and your thoughts. I hope something from what I said encouraged you and will help you get through this thing we call life. And if this helped, if this encouraged you, please like and comment and subscribe to the channel. And comment If there's any topics that you want to hear about, that you want to delve a little deeper into, we can do that. As we walk this journey together, I am leaning on you guys, and I want this place to be a safe place for you to come and share, and we grow together. Because it takes a village. We can't walk through this life by ourselves, and in the times that we're in right now, where everything just seems chaotic, we need that. We need that in our lives, and I want to support that, and this is the place to do it. So as we close out, I'll see you next time on The Whole Journey.